Love and acceptance. These are two things that everyone looks for in life, whether it be from others or from within. Unfortunately, we live in a world where it's easy to feel unloved and judged if we don't fit in to what is considered normal. People who are part of the LGBTQ community or who stray from gender norms are often discriminated against and because of this may suffer from depression and anxiety. So the question is, how do we as a society create a more accepting and loving environment for everyone so that the issues with mental health can be decreased? I think the answer to this question can be found in children's literature. Books shape the mind of readers and serve as a way for readers to enter new worlds. Children's books that portray LGBTQ characters and that show these characters being loved and accepted are essential for having future generations that hold these same morals. Children, in particular, learn and observe the message that is being presented to them better than most adults. Also, the lessons that children learn from these books will be brought with them into adulthood, creating a society that is overall happier and better to live in. In addition to shaping the morals of the younger population, also allows for children who already know that they are part of the LGBTQ community to enter in a world in which they are loved and there is acceptance, which is sometimes not something they have in the real world. Some books that have this as part of their message are Worm Love Worm, Captain Underpants and the Sensational Saga of Sir Stinks-a-Lot, William's Doll, Morris Micklewhite and the Tangerine Dress, and Red, a Crayon Story. In Worm Loves Worm, there are two worms that are trying to get married. They have to go through many obstacles in order to finally gain the acceptance of the other animals. The main thing that allowed the worms to find this acceptance was their own confidence in their love and in themselves. One of the most important lessons in this book is self-acceptance and self-love. Children who read this book will realize that the self-confidence that the worms had is what allowed them to be accepted and loved. They will also see that they need to have that level of confidence in who they are too. The book Red, a Crayon Story has a similar message of self-acceptance and self-love. The main character in this book is a crayon that has a label that reads red, but in reality he is blue. This crayon has a hard time figuring out why he does not match with what his label says, and he is put down by those around him because he's not living up to the expectations of his label. Once he finds out who he truly is, he is able to love himself and show to others that he also deserves love. It is important that children who are exposed to books that are about finding themselves and loving themselves, even if they feel like they are different from society's expectations. In both William's Doll and Morris Micklewhite and the Tangerine Dress, the main characters both enjoy playing with toys that traditionally are not considered gender appropriate. In William's Doll, William enjoys playing with a basketball and his string, but he also enjoys playing with his doll. In Morris Micklewhite and the Tangerine Dress, Morris enjoys wearing a tangerine dress while he plays, and gets bullied often at school. Once he realizes that he doesn't need to be ashamed of it and that he is still a cool kid, he is able to show that confidence to the other children at school and is able to gain their acceptance. Children need to read these books because these books show that it is okay to play with whatever they want. It teaches children to be nice to one another and not be judgmental of each other. The book Captain America and the Sensational Saga of Sir Stinks-a-Lot is one that does not revolve its main plot around the fact that one of the main characters is gay. In fact, the gay character is not revealed to be gay until this book, which is the last book in the saga. This allows for the gay character to be seen as normal and not seen as different from the other characters. Adult Harold, who is married to a man, is still loved and accepted by his best friend and by their younger versions. Unlike the other books, this book only has a handful of scenes where it shows any LGBTQ representation. It also is the only book in this collection that is on the list of the most challenged and banned books in the United States. It was already challenged before the reveal of the gay character, but some critics say that the gay scene led to being challenged even more. When books that show LGBTQ characters are banned, the results are never positive. LGBTQ people are people and they will at some point be part of our children's lives. By banning these books, it teaches children that being part of the LGBTQ community is a negative thing and it only leads to more hate and discrimination. All of these books have one thing in common. The characters were loved and accepted by at least one person, and that person was themselves. Children need to learn not only to love themselves, but to also love each other, despite differences. Allowing children to read these books or reading these books to children will allow for a future that is more accepting and loving. It is crucial that there is a fight to having these books included in schools and a fight against people trying to ban these books. As adults, we also need to get in touch with our inner child and read more of these books so that maybe we can learn from them.